Projectors are important in any home cinema setup. Although the best TVs can't be beat for delivering true 4K HDR content, you're unlikely going to get a picture bigger than 75 inches. Well, unless you wanna refinance your house or move into a mansion. In this video, we're gonna be checking out the top 5 best 4K projectors in the market. You can find links to the products in the description. If you have another product in mind that you would like us to review, please comment down below. We'll look into it as soon as possible and let you know how it compares to the items listed in this roundup. So, without further ado, let's get started with the list. The Optoma UHD60 is unique among the 4K projectors under $2,000 in several ways. It has the highest lumen rating, the highest contrast rating 1,000,000:1, and the lowest audible noise rating 28 decibels. And from what we've seen so far, it can be brightest in certain situations. It could be the highest contrast, and it is definitely the quietest of the units in this wave of recently released, aggressively priced 4K projectors. First, let's start with brightness. The Optoma UHD60 is rated at 3000 lumens. However, its bright mode, which puts out close to 3000 lumens on our test sample, is overtly green in tint. For the most part, useless for video presentation, unless you don't mind a greenish picture. The remaining preset modes are not as bright, but they give you much better color fidelity. Out of the box, with the UHD60 in cinema mode, shows a picture that is bright, reasonably high in contrast, and with remarkably good color balance compared to competing models we've seen. Black levels are sufficient to give a pleasant depth, but they are not as deep as you will get on higher priced home theater projectors. They are, however, competitive with other options in this price range. A few tweaks will help to improve picture quality. As I've said earlier, you should experiment with the brilliant color setting to see whether the default of 10 is best for your installation and screen. Even though it's a few years old now, the quality you can get out of the Optoma UHD60 for just $2,000 feels a little short of miraculous. It is still a bargain a few years after launch, delivering genuine 4K and HDR thrills at a price that instantly leaves many of its rivals with some serious explaining to do. Optoma has since launched a number of newer projectors which perform better, like the Optoma UHD65, but this model is still a solid option for a top home cinema experience. The Epson Home Cinema 5040UB is a stunning value in today's market. Built around 3 1080p LCD chips and Epson's 4K enhancement pixel shifting tech, its image looks a lot closer to true 4K than 1080p, compared with standard 1080p models like the Sony HW45ES and the Epson Home Cinema 3900. It offers visibly superior resolution and image quality for not a lot of more money, as well as compatibility with all of the new 4K video content coming onto the market. And when compared with current native 4K projectors, it delivers nearly as high quality an image at a far lower price. That puts it in a sweet spot virtually by itself. Beyond its 4K advantage, the 5040UB has other features that by themselves justify most of the difference in price between it and conventional 1080p models. At the top of the list is the all-glass 16-piece 2.1x zoom lens that is designed for 4K performance. The lens system has motorized zoom, lens shift, and focus, with a lens shift range that no other projector exceeds. And conveniently, the powered lens memory feature lets you save 10 lens positions and adjust all 3 settings with a single command for constant image height. The 5040UB boasts HDR compatibility as well as the ability to display the entire sRGB and DCI color spaces. And when it comes to lumen power, the 5040 UB delivers more than it promises. Epson rates it at 2500 lumens for both white and color brightness. But that is pretty much what it gives you in video optimized calibration. In its brightest mode, we measured it at roughly 3500 lumens, which makes it suitable for an even wider range of lighting conditions. The high brightness will let it stand up to ambient light, while the HDR support is best reserved for dark theater viewing. All in all, if you want to be the first person on your blog to display 4K content at picture sizes larger than 80 inches across, the Epson is your best bet to make that happen now without forking over the down payment on a house in order to do it. The BenQ TK800 is a brighter version of the BenQ HD 2550, one of several new 4K projectors to hit the market in the last few months that is built around the latest 0.47-inch UHD DLP chipset and selling around for $1,500. Like its predecessor, it is 3D capable in native 1080p mode, which is one of the primary distinguishing factors between these two models and several other 4K projectors under $2,000. For those who have a collection of 3D discs in 1080p HD resolution, this is a welcome feature. It weighs 9.3 pounds. So it is portable enough for backyard movie night or other transportable uses. It has a much better than average onboard speaker with dynamic range that is surprising for its size. Again, a nice feature for occasional backyard use. And it has keystone adjustment, a feature that is missing on several of its competitors. When in cinema mode in a dark room, the projector creates shockingly beautiful images, especially when adding in HDR processed highlights. When watching Netflix produced shows like Chef's Table and Stranger Things, you're gonna be shocked at the intensity with which it was able to deliver deep greens and sharp reds, transporting you to each show's universe like a 100-inch window in your living room. 4K resolution is particularly astonishing at such large scale, and you're gonna absolutely love the way that it transforms your home into a comfortable mini cinema. On the downside, black levels aren't perfect, with a bit of light bleeding into areas that should be completely black on screen. Still, this is a very difficult thing for even the finest projectors to manage, and a small amount of bleed is more than acceptable at the $1,500 price point. The fact is, this projector offers outstanding performance for how much it will set you back. All in all, the BenQ TK800 is well made, has all the connections you will ever need, and supports a solid set of features. It's easy to set up and simple to operate, making it ideal for periodic use. You'll get the best image using an actual screen, but a white wall will suffice. Where HDR and 4K were once the sole preserve of high-end projectors, it's now possible to pick up these top-notch technologies for just over $1,000. The BenQ W2700 is one such 4K HDR projector, sitting in the middle of the company's Cine Prime series devices. Its cinematic color technology supports DCI-P3, the US movie industry color standard, with BenQ claiming the images produced better reflect the colors intended by the film's director. With a short draw lens, built-in speakers and a relatively small footprint, it is portable and flexible enough to keep in the cupboard and bring it out for movie night or a session on the game's console. It is one of the cutest projectors around. Its body is no bigger than typical HD living room projectors, despite its 4K resolution. As a result, it'll sit easily on pretty much any size of coffee table. Its picture quality is ridiculously good for its price, especially when it comes to the increasingly important job of handling HDR playback. Its most spectacular HDR achievement is its color reproduction, provided you've got the white color option selected. The projector delivers a remarkably rich range of colors. What's more, being able to get so close to the full DCI-P3 color range helps colors in HDR material look far more natural and balanced than they do with white color set to off. Seriously, the amount of color impact white color mode brings to richly colored 4K Blu-rays such as Avengers: Infinity War and Spider-Man really is a sight to behold. Certainly, it's way beyond anything I've seen before on any other projector costing so little money. It is encouraging to see BenQ trying to push their budget projectors to produce accurate images. Taking into account the price point versus performance, it is the best 4K DLP we have tested at this and higher price points with SDR content, and this projector is painfully dull when in full HDR mode. But even so, when set up correctly and ditching some of the HDR features like the WCG filter, you are left with some serious value for money. If you want a big screen home entertainment but don't have the space or funds for a large flat panel TV or home cinema projector, then LG's DLP LED mini beam ultra short throw could be the answer. It needs only a dozen centimeters or so to cast a huge image onto a white wall or screen, and even better, it's also ridiculously compact and relatively affordable. It has a built-in stereo speaker to add sound to your presentations. It supports many popular video, audio, photo, and document file formats via its USB port, allowing you to make your presentations without connecting it to a computer. The projector's LED lamp will last up to an estimated 30,000 hours. This means that the lamp doesn't have to be replaced for roughly 10 years. There's a catch, of course. It has a resolution of just 720p. If you need more, LG has another model, a slightly larger 1080p UCT model that sells for $1,400.